The community center bustled with energy as volunteers gathered for a day of service. Children ran excitedly between tables filled with books and art supplies, while parents and elders engaged in conversations about upcoming community programs. Miguel Mig Santos moved seamlessly through the crowd, his warm smile reassuring everyone around him. He had always been the kind of person who made others feel seen, whether he was organizing health drives or mentoring the neighborhood youth. The atmosphere shifted when Officer Derek Lawson entered the center. His eyes scanned the room, his presence imposing and uninvited. He claimed to be there to monitor public order, but those who knew his reputation recognized something more sinister. Lawson had a history of targeting individuals from marginalized backgrounds, and his demeanor today was no different. As Miggs helped a group of children with an activity, Lawson approached, his voice cutting through the cheerful hum. Before we continue this story, let us know where you're watching from. If you enjoy stories like this, subscribe to the channel, because tomorrow we have another special story for you. "You seem awfully comfortable here," he remarked, his tone laced with condescension. "Shouldn't you be more concerned about where you actually belong?" Miggs turned, his expression calm but firm. "This is my community, officer. I belong right here." Lawson scoffed, stepping closer. "You think running these little programs makes you important? I've seen your type before, stirring up trouble under the guise of charity." The room fell silent. Volunteers and attendees alike turned their attention to the exchange. The unspoken tension thickened the air, making every word Lawson uttered heavier. "I'm here to help," Miggs replied, maintaining his dignity. "No one here is causing trouble." Lawson smirked, unimpressed. "I don't buy it. Maybe we should take a little trip down to the station, make sure everything checks out." Tara Reyes, a community organizer known for her sharp instincts, had already begun recording. From behind a pillar, she held up her phone, ensuring she captured every word, every intimidating step Lawson took toward Miggs. She had seen this play out before, an abuse of power disguised as law enforcement. "I don't think that's necessary," Miggs said evenly. "Unless you have a legitimate reason?" Lawson leaned in, lowering his voice but not his hostility. "I don't need a reason. I make the calls around here." The gathered community members murmured among themselves, their unease growing into anger. One of the elders, a longtime resident, stepped forward. "Officer, we've known Miggs for years. He's done more for this neighborhood than most. Maybe it's you who should reconsider your place here." Before Lawson could respond, Tara's voice rang out. "Too late, officer. The whole world is about to see exactly who makes the calls around here." Lawson turned to see Tara, phone in hand, still recording. Within moments, the video was uploaded and spreading across social media. The footage captured every degrading remark, every aggressive gesture, every moment that reinforced the imbalance of power. By evening, news outlets had picked up the story. Hashtags condemning Lawson's behavior trended nationally. Advocates demanded action. Civil rights groups issued statements, and the city's police department found itself scrambling for damage control. Lawson was placed on immediate suspension, pending an internal investigation, but the community demanded more than a temporary measure. Rallies formed outside City Hall, with protesters calling for police accountability. Miggs, despite his ordeal, became a rallying figure, a symbol of resilience against unchecked authority. His story was amplified by voices across the country, turning one act of injustice into a broader movement. The community center, once shadowed by intimidation, emerged stronger. It became a hub not just for volunteer efforts, but for activism and advocacy. Training programs for law enforcement, town hall meetings on police reform, and increased civilian oversight became tangible outcomes of the public outcry. In the end, Miggs remained steadfast in his mission, knowing that the fight for justice extended beyond himself. The unity forged in the aftermath of the incident ensured that no one in their community would ever stand alone again. The message was clear. Power unchecked would always be met with resistance, and a single act of oppression could ignite a national call for change.